Matthew Lewis is here because Ripper Street has started again on the TV. He's got a new play, and it's very nice to see you, Matthew. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. My brain's sort of melting a little bit out of my ear, but apart from that, it's all good.
It's very hot in the southeast.
Yeah, well, there's that, and just we've got we open the play tomorrow night, and so I've just come from rehearsals.
Okay, so we'll talk about the play in just a second. So you've got a lot of things just happening at the same time. So Ripper Street just started a couple of days ago, which presumably you filmed, like, because I saw on Twitter you said, I can't remember what's in it, but yeah. I'm in it, so just watch it.
That's true. We filmed season 4 and 5 back to back with a very short break over Christmas. So this season that's just on TV now, we actually filmed way back in September, I think, last year. And then we have just finished season 5 a couple of months ago. So we have been working right through with that.
And what a classy piece of drama it is. I mean, it's been a long wait. I mean, I think, am I right in saying that Amazon Prime had it first?
Yes.
And they chucked a whole lot of money at it and sort of resurrected the series. So it's been a long wait for fans. But when it came back, boy, what a fantastic first episode.
Yeah, it's really...
I know you can't remember what happened in it, but trust me, it's Whitechapel. There's a serial killer, and it's got a great cast, brilliant script. Everything is terrific about
so fortunate to be a part of it, and there's always a bit of trepidation whenever you join an already established cast on something so brilliant as this show. But everyone was so welcoming and really just took us all under their wing. And yeah, I mean, I love the show, big fan of it. And
so you're Drum.
Yeah, Sergeant Drummond. Yeah, Sam Drummond.
So where do you fit in with Matthew McFadden and the cast?
Well, I'm the new desk sergeant at Lehman Street, the police station. And sort of a younger generation of police officer. A lot of this sort of series is almost like the new guard coming through, and it's almost the turn of the century, 1897, and there's a new generation of police officers who are starting to use much more cerebral techniques, a lot of forensics and science and technology, which was kind of instigated by Matthew McFadden's character, and we're taking it to the next level, but that doesn't always fit well with the old guard and some of the other younger ones who like to just go out and crack skulls.
What's clever about it is that it manages to fit. Sometimes when you watch cop shows set a long time in the past and they're trying to be contemporary and it's a bit clunky, yours feels very 1890s and very period. But if the episode a couple of days back is anything to go, it feels really of the moment. I mean, that's a very clever trick you've pulled off. It's you personally.
Thank you very much. I take full credit. No, Richard Wallow, our creator, meticulous research. Everything that happens in the show is all grounded very much in history, and we have historians on the show as well. And it is remarkable. You're absolutely right. The amount of things that happen in Ripper Street and things that did happen in real life back then are still happening now. There's so many topical issues that we focus on in the show that could have been lifted out of today's newspapers. And the way Richard seamlessly brings those in and still keeping that air of Victorian London is brilliant.
Yeah, so you had Victorian London and Islamic extremism in the same episode, which was quite a remarkable feat. And when you're on a cast like that, do you get a chance, because we'll talk about your play in just a moment, if you're getting offers and if you're getting scripts coming through, presumably the temptation is to talk to people like Matthew McFadden who've been there and done that and ask their opinion. Was it that kind of a show? Could you go up to the more established actors and say, I don't know, what do you think? What's the balance between TV, movies, play?
I mean, yeah, precisely that. I've been very fortunate with every cast that I've been a part of, which over the years has been some incredible actors, some of the greatest actors of our generation. And all of them...
We should mention at that point, just in case people are wondering, well, who? If you're in the Harry Potter series, because Matthew was Neville Longbottom, obviously, then you are... But then you are sort of at the feet of these extraordinary actors, but you were in like 11 or 12 or something at the time. Yeah. But, you know, since then, you must be thinking, well, what do you do? How do you get that balance right?
Yeah. And it does. It involves just watching these guys. You know, some of the actors and actresses that I've worked with over the years, just watching them work, see how they hold themselves, the level of professionalism that they have, and genuinely just asking for advice. Matthew McFadden was one of the reasons why I'm doing a play right now.
Because?
Well, I discussed it, what he was doing after we finished Ripper Street. He'd been on the show for a long time. I was like, have you got anything to go on to? And he said he felt like maybe doing a play. He likes to do a play every sort of 3 years. It helps him refocus and go back to basics when it comes to acting. And that lengthy rehearsal process, which is such a luxury that we do not get in as often in film and TV. And it sort of resonated with me, and I thought, I haven't done a play for about 3.5 years. Maybe I should look at that. And then, as if by pure fluke, this script came up for this play, and that was a nice little segue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very good. So, well, we'll talk about the play in just a moment. We're doing Bake Off Oldest. Are you a Bake Off fan? I mean, you're going to miss it because you're doing dress rehearsal, but
yeah.
Do you do a little bit
I've
of
never
Bake
seen
Off?
it.
You've never seen Bake Off?
No.
We found someone who's never seen any of it.
I did a show out in South Africa called Bluestone, and all the crew used to get the tapes sent over to South Africa, and they used to watch them religiously every evening, but it passed me by.
Didn't do anything to you. Well, trust me, it's a good show, and it's basically a show about rugby league, and it's got Leeds Rhinos in it every week, and so
You've got me.
You don't want to miss any of them. Anyway. Matthew Lewis is here. Ripper Street is on, and he has a new play which is called Unfaithful. Now, this is going to be in London, and it's called a pop-up theatre.
Yes,
Which I know about pop-up shops and pop-up cafes and restaurants. Explain how this works.
and very similar. It sort of was a venue that was meant to be temporary. It's basically an old abandoned building that came into possession of the a production team, and they decided to put some theatre on in an empty room upstairs. And the shows that they've had on...
Just a room upstairs?
I mean, basically, that's exactly what it is. It's a very small, intimate space with mismatched chairs, and it's very, very hot. There's not a whole lot of air conditioning.
Go on, sell it, Matthew.
Yeah, I know, right? But it does make a very, very unique space for theatre, and all the shows they've had on there previously have been superb. And we're hoping to carry on in that vein with Unfaithful.
So tell us about Unfaithful then, because I think it's dress rehearsal tonight, so I haven't seen it. Are you a little bit nervous about the dress?
Yes and no. I mean, we've been taking for the last few days, and we've been rehearsing for about 3.5 weeks now, so we're all sort of, we know where we are, where we need to be and whatnot. I'm actually quite excited to get it in front of an audience now. It's got to that point where I think the energy of a full room of people is just going to give it that final edge. But that level of intimacy that I just described, I mean, everyone is very, very close, and it's going to benefit this play massively. It wants to feel like you're a fly on the wall. It doesn't want to feel like you're sitting having a glass of spritzer with a programme watching a theatre. You want to feel like you're in and amongst this, and it's like an argument that you can't tear your eyes away from. It's very visceral, and that's kind of a bit intimidating, but will also fire us up, I think.
So you'll notice if there's someone in the second row who's on the phone and texting, or just nodded off or something, you'll be aware of pretty much what everyone's
completely
doing.
Unavoidable.
This is not good.
Can see everyone.
Is that quite scary? I mean, genuinely, is that quite scary to be able to see and to be that close to the audience?
I mean, there's very much nowhere to hide. Not that you can hide ever on a stage in particular, but you can sort of imagine that the audience aren't really there, whereas that's not a choice that we can do in this particular play. But as I say, I think that it's actually gonna be crucial for it. I don't think this play would actually be half as interesting if we were in a bigger theatre with the audience further back. The fact that the audience are there is going to make a big impact. I'm actually, as much as I am slightly nervous, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay, and your character, you play a gigolo, is that right?
Yeah, I play a male escort called Peter, and it's a look at, there's two couples, an older couple with Niev Cusack and Sean Campion, and a younger couple, which is myself and Ruta Gidmintas, and we, over the process of 72 hours, we cross paths in various different ways, and change each other, really, in unforeseen ways, and it's how we all cope with that. And it talks about, relationships and communication between genders and generations, and yeah, I'm a male escort, which is a whole new kettle of fish for me.
Yes. Will people and if people come in, so just bearing in mind how close the audience are, will there be any scenes which they're sort of embarrassed and have to look the other way?
Well, I don't know about embarrassed.
Bearing in mind the subject matter.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, we don't shy away from things. That's definitely a part and parcel of it. And what a male escort has to do is investigated. and we'll see that.
So maybe taking a bag of minstrels just for the embarrassing bits.
Yeah, so, something to hide your eyes behind, perhaps.
Well, Unfaithful runs for how long, Matthew?
We finish on October the 8th.
And does this pop-up theatre have a name?
It's Found 111.
Okay.
Which doesn't quite roll off the tongue as much as you'd like.
Just around the corner is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I think is doing okay. Have you read the script? Because when the new play came out in book form, Neville Longbottom is referred to a number of times.
I have not read it. No, not yet.
Did you not rush out?
No,
to see if you're in it?
I've been too busy. I have to walk past the theatre every day on my way to rehearsals, which is getting a bit of a nightmare at the minute, to be honest.
Well, if I reckon that'll be a photo now someone's going to try and get a photograph of Matthew outside the Harry Potter play, but going to his own play.
Yes.
So you haven't read the book and you haven't seen Bake Off. So when your play is finished, that's what you have to do. You
that's
have to
the
watch
plan.
Bake Off and then go.
I'm going to make a list. Absolutely.
All right. Is this for Matthew then, this piece of thing? It is. Okay, a communication for you. Simon, I have a ticket to see Matthew's play on Monday. He's making me nervous about watching it. I will leave my phone switched off. Thank you, Wendy. All right.
I will be able to see you, Wendy. I'll keep a lookout.
Matthew Lewis, a pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. All the best for Unfaithful.
Thanks a lot.